Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
You're listening to the Paodcast, presented by the Daily Pao. This is Purva and I'm from thedailypao.com, a Mumbai-specific food and culture website. And this is our weekly podcast, the Paodcast. On Bombay Binge this time, we're in conversation with Chef Hemant Oberoi. He's the former executive chef of the Taj Mahal Palace Hotel in Colaba, where he headed restaurants such as Souk, Golden Dragon, and most popularly Zodiac Grill. Chef Oberoi has just launched his fine dining standalone restaurant in BKC. It's called Hemant Oberoi, and here he is serving European, Peruvian, and Asian-inspired dishes. The conversation was recorded at Chef Oberoi's restaurant, so please excuse the audio quality.
Bombay Binge.
Let's start with the idea behind Hemant Oberoi, the restaurant, and why you chose, why BKC? I think that's a question that would be on many minds.
Probably looking at BKC is going to be the future. Everyone has moved to this side in the last couple of years.
Right.
All the bankings, all the consulates, all the big companies, their head offices, and all the who's who also in the residentials which are coming up here now.
Right.
So everyone is moving away from that side to this side.
Okay.
And probably this is the center point today in Mumbai. Closer to the airport, closer to the banking institutions. So that's why I thought, let's be there.
Okay. And so we're in a state where, the fine dining scene in Bombay has been stagnant for a really long time. Outside hotels. So tell us a little bit about, when you've been working on Hemant Oberoi for a while. The restaurant. So tell us a little bit about, in terms of the concept, the food, what was your idea? And is it something that's just sort of gotten crystallized recently, or is it something that's been in your mind for the longest time and that's exactly what you've sort of then created?
In fact, it's not too long ago. It's just been a year.
Okay.
When I was leaving Taj.
Right.
So I realized that, let me do something different. And along the line, I had the first offers which came was Yantra by Hemant Oberoi.
Right.
So,
which is in Singapore.
It's in Singapore.
Right.
So 1st April I moved on to that, and on May 15th I opened that.
Yeah.
In 45 days we had done that restaurant.
Right.
And then suddenly we realized there's a potential in San Diego, where my son lives.
Where you have Masala Street.
So we have Masala Street there.
Right.
Opened that in December 2nd week.
Oh, in the same year?
In the same year.
Okay.
And in the meantime, we had already signed up the place here.
Okay.
I was scouting for a place in a lot of buildings, and realized that this was the place where high ceiling and everything. I said, if I have to complete this triangle of SMS, Singapore, Mumbai, San Diego, let me be here.
Okay.
So this was the place. Then I started thinking what I should be doing.
Right.
And I said, yes, the best of the dishes we have done in the last couple of years, and let me bring that. And in a luxury environment.
Right.
There are very, very few, or rather there are none, luxury standalones.
Exactly. Bombay has, I can't even, if you start naming them, you'll be hard-pressed for a name.
So we thought, let's do a luxury kind of a thing.
Right.
And it's not a luxury pricing, I can tell you that.
Right.
Your lunch average check could be 2,000.
Okay, interesting.
Your dinner average check could be 3,500.
Okay.
It's not a luxury, that kind of a pricing where people say, oh, we are spending 7,000 to 8,000 rupees.
Right.
Yes, it purely depends what you want to eat.
Yeah.
If you want to choose the lobsters and the foie gras, you're going to pay, and a good wine, you're going to pay for it.
Right.
And you can be, but 3,500, you can easily have a good meal in this place.
Okay. When you speak of luxury, is there, you think, because that there is such a gap, that there is a market for it still? Because if you see the current trend of dining in the city, everything is now suddenly about, well-priced alcohol, well-priced food, and it can or cannot come at the cost of quality. So do you think that there is space for luxury in the market right now? Or is it just because it's a Hemant Oberoi, it's like a given that, it's something that carries forward on your name that it would work?
It's, the first time everybody comes is for the name.
Right.
From second time onwards, everybody comes for the quality and the consistency. I think in this market, there's a market from Maruti to Rolls-Royce.
Right.
Mercedes, BMWs, they're also selling well.
Yeah.
In this market.
Yeah.
There are Marutis full. So everybody's got a niche into the market.
Mm-hmm.
And I think even the luxury and the middle class, upper middle class is growing.
Right.
People are traveling so much. They want to have a good food. They want to have good wines.
Yeah.
You can have a good wine at 2,000 rupees. You can have a good wine at 5,000, 7,000, 8,000.
Mm-hmm.
It depends what you want to spend on.
Right.
And what your taste buds are.
Yeah.
And we are looking for the young people also to enjoy our food and wines. Mm-hmm. They want to have a wine by glass, they can have it in 700-800 rupees.
Okay.
And if they want to have a good food also, in 2,500 rupees food and 700 rupees for the wine.
Okay. In terms of the cuisine itself, I think everybody expected an Indian restaurant from you, and you sort of just turned that around. And so my question is, why these particular cuisines? Why European, Asian, Peruvian is what we were told is the brief. So why these particular? Is it because you tell me why.
My passion in life was always Western.
Right.
When I started Zodiac 27, 28 years back, my passion was always Zodiac.
Right.
It's down the line I changed so many things and then became masala brand and work and everything and went on to make. And I think overseas Indian food works very well. Yeah. There's a demand, but in our country, Indian food is taken for granted.
Yeah.
And everybody says, my mom makes better and my maid servant makes better.
Yeah.
Everything is taken for granted that, and I realized that. I said, no, let me bring something different.
Right.
I was already working on Peruvian concept for Taj.
Okay.
And I spent a good amount of time in Peru in the last couple of years.
Right.
And Asia is, of course, influence in all the ways. Mm-hmm. This is a food which is a Western background. Mm-hmm. It's a totally Western background.
Yeah.
But still I have converted even the Peruvian food into the Western way.
Okay.
The presentation of Western, I wouldn't call it a fusion, I will call it the influences.
Understood.
It's particularly that way.
Okay.
And I think the food has come out very differently.
Yeah.
And you will see it in the menu, how the things have worked out.
Okay. Speaking of the menu, from the time of, say, a Zodiac Grill over the years and now, did you feel the need to update the menu here, update yourself in the way? Are you keeping audience expectation in mind? Do you think that the palette here has changed? Because you mentioned that we are traveling a lot more now. I know it's a different menu, but how much of it did you feel the need to update? Because people who knew Zodiac Grill would want some of that in that familiarity here as well. Did you consider that?
The souffle?
Yeah.
Camembert souffle is coming in a new avatar.
Right.
It's called the brie and truffle souffle.
Right.
So it's a new avatar of Zodiac souffle.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the dishes from there, I've brought the Peruvian influences.
Right.
Some of the new dishes we have, like a 3-melon gazpacho, the beetroot vichyssoise sauce. We brought a siphon to have the new seafood soup.
Okay.
Very healthy. It's being done in front of you on the table.
Okay.
We created a chocolate shawarma.
Yeah, I read that on the menu, yeah.
I mean, we brought the Mediterranean kolokithi with the fondue tips. It's very interesting combinations we have brought.
Yeah.
And we have done the cryopack raviolis, which is very different concept.
Right.
To retain the flavors and everything. It's a new technology.
Yeah.
And but I believe in good food by itself.
Yeah.
It's not just that molecular bubbles.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's a good food presented well in a good ambience.
Yeah.
And good wines. So that's what I want people to enjoy.
So it is an updated version.
It's totally updated version.
Okay.
If you remain with the same version, probably you don't last that longer.
Right. Okay. In terms of the ingredients, is it fair to assume that there is a heavy dependence on imported ingredients? And my question related to this is it possible to run a fine dining establishment with what's locally available now?
Not literally. Not literally. You have to depend on both.
Okay.
The basic ingredients are available and everything is available.
Right.
But still we have to depend on it. You want a good quality fish.
Right.
And sea bass, black cod, flounder. It's very difficult to find.
Right.
And moreover, there are monsoon months.
Yeah.
There's no fish available. What do? You have to depend on the imported.
Yeah.
And a good amount of, even if the pork products you want to put on the menu, it's not available. Because our local produce is not that good.
Right.
And people are used to a certain quality when they travel. Immediately they start comparing. Those meats from here, those meats from here.
Yeah.
So I don't want them to deprive.
Yeah.
If it's a parmesan, it's a parmesan.
Yeah.
If it's a aged balsamico, it has to be there. They are used to it also.
Right.
And if you are giving the fresh truffles or the fresh asparagus, our asparagus quality is not that good.
Yeah, true.
So you have to depend on that.
Okay. This is my final question. You've in the span of this year, you've set up 2 standalones in other parts of the world, and Hemant Oberoi is your third, but the first in Bombay. What are the maybe challenges or advantages of working on your own independently, not with a corporation? Because setting up a restaurant for a hotel as opposed to your own, is there like a...
Number one, there's a financial backing. There's no problem.
Right. Yeah.
So the company is behind you.
Yeah.
The resources are behind you.
True.
The labor, this, everything, there are, whether it's the designer, it is this, everything is at your disposal.
Yeah.
Here you have to stand on everybody's head and push them.
Yeah.
And you have to find out the ways to get licenses.
Yeah.
Everything is, it's a task. So it is a tough one, but I think we have managed well, and 4 months' time it is up.
Yeah.
And I think credit to Ashish also, who has designed the restaurant.
Ashish Shah, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He heard me.
Yeah.
Generally designers, they want to go their own way, and no, this.
Yeah.
But he was very flexible in with the feedbacks and everything. So that's very important.
Why call it Hemant Oberoi? Did you have other names that you were playing with, or?
It's not me who decided. Everybody around me who decided.
Right.
It's not me.
Yeah.
If it was up to me, it wouldn't have been a Hemant Oberoi.
Okay.
So it was the people around me.
Right.
That, sir, you're opening this restaurant, the agencies and the friends.
Yeah.
Let it be Hemant Oberoi.
Okay.
So they said if it can be Alan Lucas, why can't it be Hemant Oberoi?
Yeah, fair enough. And can we expect to see more around the country? Is that the plan, or is it too soon to say?
Hopefully, yes.
That is the idea.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for being on our show, Hemant. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
The Paodcast is an IVM production, and if you like our show, you should check out Drinks and Destinations with Rojita and Samira. It's a handy guide to the world of wines, spirits, and travels around the world.
Excuse me भैया, excuse me.
बोलिए मैडम.
मेन्यू में क्या है?
मेन्यू में सीन अनसीन है, पॉडकास्ट है, ऑन कोर्स है, साइरस है, मेड इन इंडिया, रीडिस्कवरी प्रोजेक्ट, एम्पावरिंग सीरीज, सेक्स वैक्स है, IVM लाइक्स है, सिंप्लीफाइड है, कीपिंग इट क्वियर है, ड्रिंक्स एंड डेस्टिनेशंस है, माय नेबर जकरबर्ग है और द फैन गराज है. आपको क्या चाहिए?
एक बार रिपीट कर देंगे क्या?
रिपीट नहीं करता हम. आप जाओ IVMpodcast.com पे और सुनो ये सब, या फिर डाउनलोड करो उनका ऐप. सब आपकी उंगलियों पे.